Yes, back again. Motown Philly back again. What a little East Coast swing. Boys to Men going off. Not too hard. Not too soft. Welcome back to Coffee Break with JN. Well, hello. You know the routine. Well, hello. I haven't seen y'all in a minute. Sound off, caffeines. Yo, what up, Adam? Repunk Taco. I see you in the building. Looking like people blowing up my cell. Everybody's bugging. They need it. They needs it. I needs it, precious. I needs coffee break. Over the winter break. I think it might have been Christmas Eve. One of the channels was showing. It must have been AMC. They were showing all the Lord of the Rings movies back to back to back to back to back to back. I'm not going to say I may have watched. I may have almost, as they used to say back in Atari days. Yo, I turned the score over. I beat. Yo, your score ain't 300. You that no man. I turned it over, and then it started over. I watched a lot of Lord of the Rings. Let me say hello to people who are here. I see a lot of superstars up in here. I see. I'm gonna start at the top. I see Nakota reporting for duty. I see James in the build. I see Kirk's pencils. What's up, Kirk's pencils? I see Duke. He's gonna be okay. He's gonna make it. Yo, I see L Boogie, El Jamal up in here. What's up, my man? I see you. I see Notorious JRD in the building. I see all my caffeines up in here. I see yo, what up? I see Bill. Well, hello indeed. Ronaldo. What's up, my man? Good to see y'all. Happy New Year. Christophe. Bonjour, mon ami. How are you? Good to see you. Yeah, I see Bros. What up, Bros? Well, hello. You know the universal greeting, and it's not Bana, we, Bana, whatever, Nini Bong. It's well, hello. All right. Yo, I see Flash. Yo, first sip of the night, guys. You got Rusty. Pause. Where's my branding? First sip of the night. Ding 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 goes to. You know who this guy is. You no good dirty gum hustler. Fletch. Raise your cuppers. Let's get a sipper. Let's get a sipper for my man Fletch. All right. Oh, that felt good. Everybody saying Bong Weep, Grata Weep, Ninny Bong. Ronaldo says, I tracked down a copy of Leon Protecting the Playground. Excited to read it. I'm excited to hear what you think. Ronaldo, may I ask, was it apostrophe expensive? Was it expensive? And you know, it's funny when people say things like, yo, I saw your thing. That's not what I meant. Yo, I saw the joint out there. It was like going for like $50. Yo, I'm like, that's great. I don't get that money, but I'm glad you're able to hunt it down. James is sipping your coffee. I love it. Christoph says, Happy New Year, my man. There was a comment in here about Return of the King. Because when I just kind of turned on the TV, and you know, it's not like they give you a heads up, it's just on. And I was trying to figure out which movie it was. Because Frodo and Samwise Gamgee were like all dirty and they were like climbing up the side of a mountain. I was like, oh, this must be the last one. But I couldn't remember. It was right at the point where Samwise was like peeping Gollum, like, yo, I ain't feeling your man. Yo, I would love to see a hood version of Return of the Lord of the Rings. Mercedes was like, "Yo, who's your man?" Nah, he cool, he cool. Yo, man, I don't like his, I don't like your face, Gollum, uh, Fat Hobbit. And it was when they were taking a short rest. Shout out to my D&D nerds. They're taking a short rest, and Gollum was like, and he rolled over and he opened up Samwise's backpack and dumped all of his elven bread out the jar. And I was like, oh no. Oh, I was in it. I was just hooked. I could not stop watching that movie. I tried to. I couldn't stop. Um, so man, I might ask, maybe our first thing of the night is, what is a movie or show, well, probably a movie that comes on television, cable, whatever, that you cannot turn off. You just have to sit down and watch it. You might even be like, all right, I was gonna go pick my kid up from school, but I gotta finish this. Through all the commercials, through all the Jake the State Farm guy commercials, all of that. Sound off. And while you guys are typing your things out, JRD says, "Sorry, I missed Pencil to Pencil last night, JN. It's okay. Was heavy into editing a book and lost track of time. It's okay. We'll catch the rerun. It's okay. It's all right." Yeah, Frost, right? After he dumps the joint out, he dumps the crumbs on my man's shirt. And then Frodo gets up. He's like, "Yo, what's going on? What's good?" And he's like, "Yo, my man, let's eat some lunch." And it's like, "It's going." And Colin was like, "It was him. Look at it. Look at his shirt." He's like, What? Yo, he set me up." And Sam Lost is cool. Oh my god, I love it. Yo, E, what up, E? Good to see you, E. Happy New Year. Groundhog's Day cannot not watch it. That's what we're gonna call this. Cannot not watch it. Of course, JRD says the Thin Man. Hunt for Red October, dial in for murder. Well, you must have like the classic channel on your thing, as I've never walked past the TV and saw Hunt for Red October on. You know, I've never seen Hunt for Red October. What was that? It wasn't the same, but what was that submarine movie with John Bon Jovi in it? Wasn't it like U-541 or something? I saw that in the dollar movies. I don't know why. I don't remember anything about it. I just know John Bon Jovi was in it. Ronaldo says The Martian. Okay. Bill O'Donnell. Shawshank. Okay. Ronaldo co-signs that. Kirk's Pencils, the first FBI series every Tuesday night. You gotta see it. Nakota says it's been so long since we have regular TV. Oh, did you? What do they call it? You pulled the plug. You went wireless. So you're all like Fire Stick, whatever. Fire Stick pause. E says Raising Arizona. Okay, that's a classic. Um, Christoph says it will be The Thing. Nice. That's a good pick. Then Dakota says, but I am easily lured by the various Stargate series. That's like good Saturday afternoon stuff. U-57 Wells close. Wah, wah. James, you get a nod prize for that. That was good. That's a good dad joke. Yo, let's get another sipper for my man Matt Waringo. Put your sippers up. You know my man Matt Waringo, one half of the world's finest duo of Matt and Suze. Good to see you, Matt. Matt says, guys, I'm so rusty. I'm like, these buttons are all over the place and it's messing me up. Matt says, hey, folks, my reception is super choppy out where I am. Just wanted to poke my head in the door and say hi. Hello. Good to see you, my man. Happy New Year. Bill also says Blade Runner. That's a good pick. Star Wars. Star Wars has a very strong gravitational pull, much like the pull that dragged the Millennium Falcon into the Death Star Bay. Cannot get out of the force of the tractor beam. I gotta watch Star Wars. I gotta watch all the stars in all the wars. I gotta watch Empire. If Return of the Jedi comes on, I could let that go. That's Star Wars. Um, I went on a little bit of a rant last night on Pencil to Pencil. It was a nice rant, but one of my things was I had kind of come to realization over some time now that I have missed a lot of television, and I don't know if I had a nickel for every time somebody's like, "You didn't see what? What do you mean you didn't watch what?" And I'm okay with it. And some of the stuff I actively am not. I don't want to say I'm not interested in it, but I can't figure out a way to kind of sew in one more thing into my dominoes. I can't find any more dominoes, y'all. So and whatever I say, people are going to be in the chat like, "What?" or not what, or like, "Oh man, it's so good. You should." There are things I was very excited about, and I maybe watched one or two of them and went, "Not that it's bad, not that it's bad, not that it's whatever," because the internet has now trained us all to believe that if you don't like something, you must hate it, or not even if you don't love something, you hate it, right? It's very on and off. Oh, I see the problem. This doll switched to evil. I hate you. I love you. All right. So let's run down. What do you mean you didn't watch Game of Thrones? What do you mean you didn't watch all the Stranger Things? What do you mean you didn't? What do you do? Blah. So I said, I never really gave it much thought in the sphere, but a part of what we talked about last night on the podcast was plotting out your calendar year to make sure things happen. And I guess a sacrifice of mine was television. I never sat down and had a New Year's resolution. It's like, this year I'm not watching really popular television programs. It just kind of happened, right? So I think I won't go as far as to say I don't know what you're talking about. I'm very keyed in on pop culture. I just don't watch it myself. For a while I did a lot of drive-by TV watching. The my significant other watches shows. I walk by and go, "Oh, what's okay." Happy New Year and another sipper. You know who this is. Crept up in the chat. Another sipper for the people's champion, Jerry Kraft. I'm a little rusty. You gotta give me a minute. I gotta sip. We put the sippers up. You gotta take a sip. Yo, you know my man Jerry Kraft. You may have heard of Jerry Kraft from his Newbery Medal award-winning book, New Kid, New York Times best-selling series author, banned book dude on CNN with Don Lemon dude, first base Jerry Kraft, second base Jerry Kraft, shortstop Jerry Kraft. Yes, that Jerry Kraft. Yes, Jerry Kraft is one of my best buds. What's up, Jerry Kraft? Whew. Jerry Kraft says, "Why do you hate? Why does your who hurt you? Why does your skin hurt?" I watched the first season of Stranger Things. I loved it. I loved it. I started to watch the second season of Stranger Things because I watched like the trailers for the second season of Stranger Things, and I went, "You ready for this?" I said, it's too 80s." I felt like it was trying too hard. Not like the first one didn't try too hard, but that era of like tapped in nostalgia wasn't where it is now. And I was like, ah, they're wearing like this is the 80s and they're wearing full blown Ghostbusters costumes to school on Halloween. that wasn't a thing. You couldn't go to Target and get a Ghostbusters uniform. It jumped the shark to me right there. It was just too much. I like the arcade, the Trans Ams and all that. It was just like it was too much. And all it takes is just a little bit to kind of knock me out of it. Um, but I walked by the living room and went, "Oh, okay." But I'm not yucking yums. I'm sure it was fantastic. I know there was season 4 that came and went. Everybody, yeah, everybody's okay. We'll live, right, Duke? We're okay. But I hope somebody understands where I'm coming from here. Let me read some of these comments. Thank you, Bill O'Donnell. The page grind is no joke. You know that's real. Kirk's pencil says the 5 heartbeats. Ain't nobody coming to you. Oh, it is. Oh, wait, that's the wrong movie. I haven't seen that in a long time. Ghostbusters has a strong pull on me. Pause. Dakota says, I do remember being lured by Ghostbusters in the various Jurassic Parks. Pretty sure I'm actually a 12-year-old. I'm here for that. Um, yes, Christoph, polarization. Jared D says, happy early birthday, Jerry. Jared D is the keeper of the records. Happy early birthday, Jerry Kraft. As I like to say on Facebook, happy born date. Matt comes in with True Blood. I remember the True Blood mania. I was like, I was into True Blood the first season, and then I was like, we've talked about this before. This, especially with TV shows. Sometimes I think the first season is so strong. It's such a strong concept, and then the next part of it is like, how can we keep this going? How can we make more money out of this? How can we milk this? And I'm not here for it. Like, one of my favorites is 24. The concept is great. This whole season is going to happen in 24 hours. Beep 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 beep. The countdown. I'm a big Kiefer fan. I'm a big Jack Bauer fan. He's running around screaming at people, "Open the gate! Duh, duh, duh. It's a duh, 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 duh." But then they did it again and again and again and again, and I'm not watching it. Same thing with Lost. And one of the things that's been really interesting to me, I kind of fell down this rabbit hole, was watching these interviews and documentaries about Lost and how the team was like, we kind of wanted to be done and we couldn't write an ending when the network kept trying to make us keep it going. So, yes, we were making things up. And isn't that part of being creative? You make things up. But it's like we're making things up as we go. It's like flying an airplane while you're building it. So I wonder how you guys feel about that. Yo, what up, Caitlin? Happy New Year. Good to see you. Yeah, Bros, you feel me on Stranger Things. I get that. Went from 80 slice of life to full nostalgia prawn. Member beer. Yo, peace, Mama Carla, the matron saint of Coffee Break. How are you? It's good to see you. Happy New Year. Dakota says, I am not up with anything. When people do the, how have you not watched this? I'm just like, because I like my family and I like doing things with them. I like them. Duke says, I get where you're coming from. I hate H8 when people recommend popular things to me because I've either already watched it or don't have the time, so won't bother. Now, so Ronaldo, I was thinking about that because I was like, "Yo, Willow, that's my man. You are great," and I was just like, "Wait, it's a show? I'm not gonna watch it." And because as time's going on, and I've kind of created this, I don't know, thing for myself. People kind of know my deal, or people make assumptions. And this is funny. I'll go through a couple lists of things as time went by. I remember people saying things to me like, "Oh, you know what, Jamar? You know what you like?" This is usually a start. You would do you watch Big Bang Theory? And I'm sure every nerd in this room has had somebody ask them that. And I'm sure all of you are like, "I hate Big Bang Theory." They have taken my hobbies and passions and used them against me. They've weaponized my nerd culture. I was like, no, I'm not watching that. Um, what was something else? Like I don't think I have super distinctive taste in things, but I strictly recall if something was like hyper popular like that, people thought I would want to watch it. I was like, "Oh, there's Dungeons and Dragons in this. You'll love Game of Thrones." I'm like, "Is there hobbits in it? Are there halflings in it?" Well, Peter Dinklage isn't a hobbit. I don't know. I'll check it out. Uh, and I tried to like sit down and go, okay, this is gonna be the summer. I'm gonna watch Game of Thrones. I got to like the third episode of the first season. I was just like, and it's me. It's not you. It's me. You guys. Let me read some more comments, and then we'll do an ID. Did I finish reading your thing, Duke? Duke says, I get where you're coming from. I hate when people recommend popular things to me because I've already either watched it or don't have the time, so won't bother. Yes. JRD says real spicy things. I just tell people I can either create entertainment or consume it. I know which I'd rather do. Does your monocle fall into your soup when you say that, JRD? That that reminds me of this old McFarlane interview. This is like at the height of his powers, and it was some interview, and he was like, "What's your favorite movie?" He's like, "Listen, bud, I don't go to the movies. Why would I have to go to the movies when I can create the coolest guns or the biggest scenes? I could just draw it. My imagination, whatever he said. I don't want to get slandered, but my imagination is better than any movie." And I was like, "Oh, all right, I feel that." I'd like to watch 424. Oh, running out of time. I call Shogun. I'm still in awe of how hard season 8 of Game of Thrones killed the series. That's another thing. Another thing that I'm kind of like a all in pause dude, where probably the last thing that I really gave a lot of love to was Breaking Bad. I loved Breaking Bad. I watched all of that. I was like, I don't know if you're like one of those director's commentary people or you start like fishing around and like I noticed that Marie always wears purple and da 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 and oh, oh, there's color palettes. Like I'm just like I'm all in and I'm like Vince Gilligan's a genius and this makes sense and this lines up to this and the title of the thing is this and so I remember looking at this website where somebody kind of creatively zoomed out on a whole series and did a color almost like a Pantone chip color palette of the whole series and how the colors change through the whole thing, like that granular stuff. And I was all about it. But then when Better Call Saul came out, I was like, and I watched like 2 episodes of it. I was like, I can't. So I don't know. There's also probably something about just the timing of things too. And I know people talked about Carla said, "I watched Big Bang Theory. It was just the it was nerds behaving badly." I like that. You know, what up, Andrew Neil? Andrew, we're talking about Game of Johns. Uh, that kind of brings us around to the intro to the show, where I didn't put the whole thing off of the internet up on the screen, but it was John, John. Noun, dialect, US, chiefly in eastern Pennsylvania, used to refer to a thing, person, place, or event that one need not or cannot give a specific name to. Example, these Johns are very inexpensive. It's close. It's close enough. But I don't know if you guys saw that Quinta Brunson, shout out to Quinta, Philly in the building, uh, uh, getting a bunch of award accolades the other night. But I think she was on Colbert, and like this clip has been making the rounds about how she broke down a bunch of Philly slang, and I think John was a part of it. Bull was part of it, and then people were in the comments like, "Nah, that ain't right. She ain't use that right or whatever." And it's funny. I don't know any other place where people were so like dialing in on what's going on with Philly slang. That everybody wants to make it Philadelphia cheesesteak. Everybody's trying to say John, whatever. I just find that interesting. So thanks, Andrew Neal, for Game of Jones. Yo, I heard that. I think that was an AMC connection, right? Jerry says there was a Breaking Bad, Walking Dead rumor that Walter White's blue meth was what caused the zombie apocalypse. How cool is that? It's wild stuff. It's wild stuff. I gotta do what I do. Caitlin says, I can usually get a few episodes into a new show, but the more people hype it up, the less interest I get. Well, also, I think that I can't speak for everybody. I don't know, but I feel like the pandemic and the lockdown kind of ended the era of water cooler talk. Hey, Frankie, did you watch so blah 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 last night? Oh, did I? So usually the fandom of something is just the internet, and people are just being loud and yelling at clouds, and you get kind of swept up in that. I used to have a subscription to Entertainment Weekly. I love reading Entertainment Weekly, but I feel like the magazine got so thin. They stopped hiring really dope illustrators to do spot art for it. They just kind of turned into like a box of tissues that I just think that I think the world just gets information in a different way. But I used to enjoy reading about what's going on in the entertainment world. There's part of me that started to read, and not to sound all highfalutin, is one of my favorite things. I started to get into the Hollywood Reporter. I thought about getting a subscription to Variety, but I can't. That's crazy. Like I want to like get the lean cut of things and not the fat. You know what I'm saying? Like one of my all of you guys know I'm a big video game head. And I finally got rid of my last magazine subscription, but I had a magazine subscription to Retro Gamer magazine. And my favorite part of the magazine, on the very top of it in the corner, it said, "It's old," instead of "new issue." It's old. And what I liked about that, and also Edge magazine, that sounds like something else. These are both like British video game industry magazines. They kind of talk about the industry and like game development, and like we talked to the creator of this and the guy who made Doom, the two guys that made Doom, and like how all that happened versus like this is how you get the level 6 pew pew. I've always been interested in that like next level behind the scenes stuff. So maybe before dude, blah 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 is my favorite. I wish I'd still be getting Nintendo. Yo, if you guys have Nintendo Power magazines in your attic or something like that, people pay a grip for those magazines, so don't throw them in the trash. Andrew says the last video game magazine I read was Next Gen in the '90s. That was a good magazine. That was kind of like they'd have like super edgy polygon Lara Croft on the cover, like the woman of the year, Lara Croft. People forget how big pause Tomb Raider was before Angelina Jolie in the movies. Tomb Raider was huge. Oh, page 3, so spicy. Oh, right. Ronaldo says, "I love Breaking Bad rumors." I also heard that the Breaking Bad was a father from Malcolm in the Middle and Witness Protection. Those were also good. Oh, also Andrew says, all you should know that one of my favorite cartoonists working today is Andrew Neal. Read Meeting Comics. Andrew Neal, everybody give a sippo to my man Andrew, who just completed a successful Kickstarter for his next issue of Meeting Comics. Put your sippers up for my man Andrew. So I give you your flowers, bro. Where's my John? Put your sippers up for my man Andrew Neal. Andrew, why don't you put in the thing the a link to Meeting Comics? I guess the Kickstarter doesn't matter because it's over. Sipper for my man. And then I should do an ID because I've been talking for 40 minutes. Man, I'm so rusty, you guys. Dakota says I used to work for Nintendo, and there was like a Nintendo Power shrine in the main building. Wow, it's amazing. Like I hear these stories about all of that. You know, I worked here, I worked there. Guys, I have to hold on a second. I gotta check on this guy. Yeah, that's right. Put him up in there. Put him up. Sip us up. JRD says, I've been watching Adam 12 in Emergency because I totally have my finger on the pulse of what is hot in senior centers. That is very true. Yo. This guy. Sorry, I'm doing like 3 things at the same time here. Your tech support. Were you what they call the people you would there'd be like a 1-900 number on the back of the video game, and they would always in the videos they would cut to somebody at this very tiny CRT. They're calling like Nintendo coaches or something like that. How do you get the whistle in Legend of Zelda? Well, go to the graveyard and then. That's super cool. Yes, thank you, Jamal. Let's do that. I'm so out of it. Give me 1 second. You're watching Coffee Break with JN with your boy JN. It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a coffee break to step to. I am Philadelphia's favorite son, and I also go by many names. Some people call me Johnny Carson. Well, that's wild stuff. Some call me PM John, Paper Doll. Some call me their internet best friend and hairbrusher. Come to me with your problems. Having a rough day? Maybe you need group therapy. Maybe it's time for group. I am your group leader. I'm also the administrator of this facility. I'm the administrator of Cloud City. JN, hello. What happens here on Coffee Break with JN? You get to hang out with me. I'm also a cartoonist. And watch me drink this coffee and run my mouth. And when I'm out of coffee, where's Trey? Somebody wake up Hicks. Video over. Good to see you guys. Miss you so much. The ministry of the facility. That's right. Yeah, what up? I just see my man Tom Zoller in the building. What up, TZ? I just saw you started 40 minutes ago. The Moose should have told you. I've always messed that line up. We're closed. The Moose out front should have told you. Some people call me Maurice. The administrator of the facility. That's right. You guys know. You know the routine. Well, hello. Oh my gosh, I'm so rusty at this. Hold on a second. Well, that's good, Tom. I know you're on your grind. This is like the second shift just showed up. What up, Clean? What up, TZ? It may be January, but it's always July when my man Julian Lytle's in the building. What up? What up, July? It's good to see you, my man. What up, Clean? I ain't seen you in a minute, Clean. Happy New Year, Clean. I feel like all the caffeines are home or have come home to roost. And I'd be remiss if I didn't shout out the caffeines. Caffeines, you know who you are, friends and regulars. Oh, Coffee Break with JN. Jump man, jump man. I love it. Maddie do ya. I love it. So I was going to ask, since I was about to go on this rail about um, magazines, if you in 2022/23 have a magazine subscription, put it in the chat. And if you're getting spicy mail, if, if you're getting mail delivered to your house with a modesty uh, cover over it, maybe you don't have to say what it is, but I find it very entertaining. So tell us your magazine subscriptions, or maybe if you have kidlets, they have a magazine subscription. TZ says yes, digital subscription to back issue from Tomorrow's Magazine. That's right. Ask for it by name. Tomorrow's Magazine. Nice. Yes, that counts. I call says I haven't been able to read magazines since Amiga format. Stop printing. No. Yo, Julian's got 7 mags a month, paper, and 3 to 4 more digital. Bobby Digital. No, comic books do not count. Comic books do not count in this scenario. Um, so, and maybe I'll give you guys a break and say, does any magazines come to the house? Maybe they're not yours. Maybe they're wifey's or your shorty or your baby mama or somebody. Somebody gets something that comes to the house. JRD says, I get comics and previews mail. Oh, you get previews mail? That phone book shows up to the house? Wifey gets Bake Magazine. Is that like bake? Put in the oven bake or another kind of bake? I love it. Okay. Oh, professional journals, yeah. I love it. Ronaldo says, I'd wager my comics cost more than a magazine subscription at this point. Well, I guess, but you know what? I feel like comic book subscriptions, unless they're coming to your house from Mile High Comics with the Mile High raccoon on the cover of your mail, and you have to go to your LCS to pick them up out of the filing cabinet in the back. Yeah, that's a subscription, but I was thinking about things that get mailed to your house. No magazines, mostly because when I had the subscriptions, they started to pile up. Yes. Now I just buy one in the store. Yes. James says 3D World, my magazine of choice. I like it. Computer love. I remember my retro gamer magazine. It was running while the pandemic was going on, and also it's like a ROW rest of world thing. So it would take forever for my subscription to show up, my magazine to show up. And like they were just kind of out of sorts during the lockdown and they just kind of stopped. Sorry, El Jamal. You knew what I meant. I just saw this like a little dude with an orange sweater on who was totally Winnie the Poohing it. And it got so like discombobulated. I was like, well, I guess, people are fighting in the streets over toilet paper. I'm not really worried about my magazine subscription. But then I started to realize, even though I LOVE that magazine, I wasn't reading them. And they just kind of pile up, like Caitlin said. So I kind of let it go. But then I was like, well, maybe I'll read it digitally. And you can get it on a couple of apps. I think it's on Kindle or something. And I found this really cool app that I think you have to pay for it. It's called Readly. My Philly jaw doesn't work. If you go to the app store, it's a little like yellow square, and it's a UK based magazine aggregation graphic user interface thing. So you can go there and read like a bunch of magazines that if they're published in the UK or come through the UK, and they have newspapers and other things from different parts of the world. It's really interesting to like you can read Yacht Magazine. um, but I just realized I wasn't reading them. Even I had them in this different format, and a lot of magazine subscription things these days go. You can get the digital and the physical, and if you have that choice, I don't know. Oh, we get Philadelphia Magazine that comes to the house. Andrew says I subscribed to Games Magazine a year ago, though my friends through my friend's daughter as a Girl Scout fundraiser, but I didn't renew because I wasn't doing the puzzles. Yo, Wordle's got a stranglehold on the world. Clean says my sister-in-law got me a Yarn subscription. That's what's up. Yarn monthly. Yo, Chris. Yo, you know my man, my brother from another mother, Chris Mariano from the Leaping Mariano Brothers. What's up, Chris? Happy New Year. I miss your Nintendo Power as well. Mathler. I don't know about Mathler. I'm not good with maths. But I wouldn't be surprised that you're good at math, Tom. Ronaldo says, I always get a magazine to read when I go on a trip. Yes. I might get through 3 pages and it comes over the trip mangle. I have you ready for my bougie magazine? I don't have a subscription. When I actually thought about getting a subscription, it was so crazy expensive. I was like, wait, what? Why does it cost as much? Monocle magazine. Monocle magazine is a world like a not like a world traveler. It's like a world. It's like if you listen to like world music, it's like a magazine. I don't know. That's not a good way. So they talk about other cultures and going to Sweden and all that kind of stuff. No, I'm not good at. I'm not good. I'm not a wine guy, but I guess you would be surprised if I had a wine spectator magazine on my coffee table. Flesh says magazines were mainly bathroom reading material for me, and with the subscription, I found I needed more fiber in my diet because I just wasn't pooping enough to get through them in any kind of timely manner. Wow, where are we going with that? That's crazy pills. I love it. Um, but then people also want to say, "Well, you don't read," but apparently, a lot of people are reading comic books, so that counts. No cigar aficionado. I feel like that's a bougie. I remember it was on the cover of. It might have been cigar aficionado was Ed Bradley, the news guy, and he had a giant cigar in his mouth and like the sexiest sweater I've ever seen. It was like I don't know the fidelity of the camera or whatever, but I think he was wearing a mohair sweater. And I was like, yo, that sweater looks expensive. Just like looking at the magazine cover is crazy. Dad jokes. I'm a parent. I get to be a wine spectator on a regular when I run by kids at school. Wow. Nakota looked it up. Holy crow, Monocle is either 136 or 195 pounds a year. That's yeah. But you know what? If you got it like that, go in. Pause. But I was just like, so I was looking into Monocle, and they have a whole like radio station on their website, and I was in the world news. I was like, well, maybe I'll just hang out here. But maybe we'll get a sponsorship with Monocle Magazine on Coffee Break. And I think they had like one subscription package where I think you got like I don't know, like a leather journal and like a cross pen or something. I love it. That's so good. Um, and also, you guys, just to say, I haven't done a coffee break in a month, 2 months. It's been a while. I mean, it was last year, and I don't know how many of these I'm going to do for the next couple of weeks because I'm still on deadline. and I was kind of in between things, so I figured I'd jump on. Uh-oh, ka-chunk. Suze has entered the chat, ka-chunk. Well, you know what we must do. Everything stops, everything shuts down with Suze in the building. So you guys get your elbows ready. And thank you for all you guys watching. We got a full house. I see a lot of eyeballs in my video scope. I put my hands upon your hip. Then I dip, you dip, we dip. Suze pose. That was a good one. What up, Suze? Look at all this love in the chat. They love it. They love it. Renato says they should give you a monocle and chain. Yo, they should give you a monocle. I would get it if we got a monocle with a pocket chain. You see the tip. Christoph is speechless. I love it. Yo, I'm trying to. It's just your world, Suze. I'm just living in it. I'm paying rent in it. How are you? Speaking of rent, this is funny. I just thought of when I said rent. For some reason, I started thinking of predatory practices. I don't know. I don't know why that popped up in my head. Um, if anybody, and maybe I shouldn't talk about this because this sounds like I'm singling people out, but I'm not. I was thinking about things that people do because they don't feel like they have options to do something else. Like I just thought of Rent a Center. On Pencil to Pencil, we're talking about things that are like secretly changing their names. Like KFC was Kentucky Fried Chicken, and now Dunkin' Donuts is just Dunkin' apostrophe. But Rent a Center, which you may or may not have in your neighborhood, is now called RAC. And I kind of know why they did that, but if you're not familiar with these type of places, is and you're starting to see less of them. They're basically rent to own places where you go in because you need a couch like right now. And they always used to when the commercials would play it up like you need a TV for the big game because you gotta, press the Joneses who are coming over for the big game. Come to Rent a Center. You can rent a giant TV for a week and you pay on this thing every week. And then at some point you own it if you pay on it long enough. So, if you can do the pizza math, that let's say this is 1991. So this TV may have been $2,000. By the time you finish paying for it, it costs you $4,000. So again, this is I'm not knocking or anything. I know people do what they do. I think what's weird about those things is that people get caught up in it, and then you paid on things so long, you might as well pay it off, and that's how they get you. I should have called this part of the show. That's how they get you. So I wonder if anybody out here has a story they'd like to share. I'll say there was a point in my young life where I got a computer from Rent a Center, and it was show you how long ago it was like a 386. It wasn't even like Windows 7 or something like that. I think it was a 486 or a 386 or 286. And I think I paid it off. And by the time I paid the thing off, the whole thing was junk. So, you know, just put it out there. Jared Kraft says Sleepy's is mattress firm. Word? They ain't fooling nobody. Nakota says my parents dumped so much money in a rent a center because it was the only way we could have furniture that wasn't like roach rat infested. It's kind of like it's one of those it is what it is things. and people who aren't in those not situation in that kind of world go, well, why don't you just say this? You do what you got to do when you got to do it, and so I totally understand. Dakota says it was wild. Like we couldn't afford full price, and nothing would accept payments except rent a center. Right. So it's like I don't have it, but I could get it. TC says I leased my Mac. I did the math and it worked out. I own it now. Okay. But I think the funny thing is back in that time, you couldn't go into a RAC and rent something that nice. I'm just saying, you know, I don't know how I got on the subject and I feel kind of greasy talking about it. But yeah, it's just kind of like, you would see people in there. So also, I think if you didn't pay for it, they'd come get it. That was the other thing. Like, sorry, you've been paying on this couch for 2 years, but you're like, you have like 2 months left and you just can't do it. They have to come and take it. It's wild. All right, guys, I'm gonna start wrapping it up. But I wanted to just jump on and say hello. It's good to see all these people in the chat. Miss you all. I hope you all have grand things on your plates for this new year. Extra P said, "Don't say the year." I believe in that. I don't like calling years. When you say, "Yo, this is the summer of George. This is gonna be my year," it turns out to not being your year. That was like the 2020 going into 2020, like it then. My favorite was I think it was the Warriors and like Cyrus is like 2020 goals, and then underneath it was Luther for the gang that shot him. That was like 2020 coming for you. I think I hit a nerve on a rent center thing. There were a couple of times we went down to make payments and people came in just freaking out that this stuff got taken back. Yeah, it's really sad. Ronaldo says, "You got stains all on this couch and no one will want it, but we're still taking it back. They're coming for it." It's real. It's real rap. Um, so maybe before I check out, why don't you guys tell me some things you're looking forward to this year, and we'll end on a nice note. As I'm hoping that we'll see more of all of you this year. Thank you, Suze. Wishing everyone good health and wealth. Acknowledge yourself. Keep your third eye open and your windmills breezy. Love it. Thank you. You guys do that. I will be right back. I'll give you guys a couple extra minutes, but I'll be right back. Give me a second. Yo, back. Oh, the next week, I it ain't hard to tell 69 is coming. Yeah, that's what you're looking forward to. I like it. TZ's is checking out. Good to see you, my man. Looking good in that pic. Looking slim, bro. Look at what the kids say. I'm sturdy. Looking sturdy. JRD's looking forward to hopefully less stress and better health. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed emoji. Ronaldo's looking forward to Baltimore Comic Con. We're going to have big fun in Baltimore with the wretched. Kirk's Pencils looking for better art output for me. I believe in you. Nothing's impossible. And I want to see that art. What? Matt and I will celebrate our 30th anniversary. Happy anniversary, you crazy kids. That's awesome. I love you guys. You guys are like a model couple with a model relationship. I love it. Caitlin says, "Here's to making new memories and spending more time with those we love." I love it. El Jamal says, "I'm looking forward to finishing the Spider-Man villain print." Yo, you've been putting in work. I see that sauce you be putting on that art, bro. You'll get it there. I love it. Living my purpose. Find your purpose. Yo, I'm back. I paid the guy off for the check. He was right outside. Yo, real rap. I just had this flashback to again a young man, and my cable bill was so past due. They just turned it off, and I'm like, those parts where it's just like, well, just come get it, man. I can't remember how old I was. I was dumb and young. I was in my early 20s. And one day the doorbell rang, and I looked as buddy, I don't know, like TV shows, you just go, hello. Like I'm like, and there was this little it's like a squat, like a squatty large guy with like like a bandana on his head and like ripped sleeves on his shirt. And I just started laughing, and I opened the door like, "Yeah." He was like, "Yeah, we're here for that cable box." I was like, "Okay." And he was like, "What?" I was like, "Wait right here. I'll be right back." And I went, "Here you go." And I closed the door, and he's just holding it. I guess they sent the tough guy out to deal with collections, and I guess I'm supposed to fist fight him over the cable box. You get here, take it. He was so caught off guard by that. You got it. DJ Sweaty Large in full effect. I love it. Look at getting a lot of love in the chat. That's really cool. Um, but yeah, I don't know where that came from. Fletch says, if all goes well, I'm hoping by mid-February the Kickstarter for my comic book, Pack Rat and Thunder Bunny, will be live. It will be. I believe in you. Christoph says, here's to seeing you more as well as connecting more with people. Yes, I believe that will happen. I believe that to be true. Right? They don't even come and get it anymore. Pause. They just keep charging you until you bring it in. I mean, if I don't know if you guys are there's people who are like so smart about how to like wring every dime out of everything. They're like people who have cable and they're like, you know what? Don't charge me for a modem rental. I'll buy a modem. And they're like behind the thing with the stuff. I don't know how to do all that stuff, so I celebrate anybody who can figure out the system. Real rap. So, but yeah, it was really good catching up with you guys. Oh, thank you, Mama Carla. That means the most. Thank you so much. What I'm looking forward to, you guys, is doing more content. I got to get back to the table, working on the next book. Um, Having a lot of fun. I feel like I'm doing my best work, and having you guys really helps push things forward. Very fortunate. Well, thank you for all the well wishing. If you haven't bought Leon Extraordinary, cop it. I haven't done any type of like press for purchases. I feel like almost everybody in this chat has gotten Leon. I'd love to hear what you guys think. I've seen some fantastic testimonials from people who are like, oh, my kid can't put it down. Oh, I gave it to somebody for Christmas, and the kid is like bear hugging the book. They love it. Thank you so much, you guys. That's what I'm out here trying to do, and it's tough. Hold on a second. Ronaldo says, is that book scheduled for this year next? No, 24. It'll be early 24. So before you know it, it'll be time for Leon the Magnificent. If you haven't bought Leon, why are you in this chat? I love it. Why are you here? Um, and it's it's interesting because now this is the kind of period. It's still crazy, guys. Leon came out. It's kind of been 3 months. It hasn't even been that long, But I'm still kind of full up. I got lots of things going on. I'm excited, and people are also finding out, which is kind of odd, that it's a series. I guess because it doesn't say like you know series on the front of it. People are like, oh, there's going to be more. Kind of like at the end of James Bond. James Bond will return. Leon's coming back, y'all. Leon will return. Um, I hope that people who read it enjoyed it for what it is and also for what you found in it. There's a lot of great messages in there. There's a lot of really positive people in it and things that I think your kids will relate to or things that you relate to because you remember what it was like being a kid. So I'm drawing these books and writing these books for you and for the little you inside you. Pause. All right, enough of that. Thank you guys. Suze, you know what to tell them. Tell them to say the goodbyes now, y'all, because we're about to blast off. That's right. Make good choices. Hold on, I gotta put the joint up. Or brand, y'all. Make good choices. I love it. Worldwide. I love all of it. Thank you. All right, you guys. Let's say those goodbyes. It was great hanging out with you guys. Like I said, if you have the means, or even if you have, for the cost of a cup of dirty chai coffee, you can support me every month on my Patreon. Think about it. This is the year that I am going to start a pay as you wish Patreon style thing. At every level you decide to support the studio, you get all the content. I think that could be really special. So, from the beginning of this year out to the end, we'll see how it goes. Everybody gets everything unless it's a male tier, and that's something else. We'll we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But thank you so much for all your support. Love you guys. No, we cannot get Leon from Rent a Center. You gotta cop it. I love it. All right, you guys. Thanks. Good night, John Boy. Good night, John Boy. I can't say I'll be back here next Thursday, but we'll see. Duke says, I've said this before. I'll say it again. It ain't hard to tell. It's worth the price of admission for the Patreon. That is the twice monthly Q&A podcast I do with Batman comic artist Michael Hawthorne. When we form Bodega Voltron. Trey, yo, Trey, JRD, you summoned Trey. You summoned him from the mists. What up, Trey? Let's get a hold of. I got a sippy. I got a sipper. A sippy. You got a sippy cup. Let's get a sipper. Put your last sippers up for my man Trey. He came home. Good to see you, my man. We all miss you. Don't be a stranger, my man. Look at that. They love it. Yes, we did an Ashy stream the other day. I mean, last week. Yes. Ashy stream, more Ashy streams. All the Ashy streams. Trey, if you just showed up, go back and watch this. This is a good episode. All right, you guys, let's go. Let's go home. Look at the love, Trey. They love you. Sipping for Trey. Will you somebody wake up Hicks? I love it. All right, you guys, let's do it. Let's strap in. You've been watching Coffee Break with JN, with your boy JN. We chopped it up really nicely tonight. I can't do this without you. Thank you so much for supporting me running my mouth and drinking coffee. This is what JRD, the third, fourth year I've been doing Coffee Break with JN. I want to keep bringing this stuff to you. If humanly possible, I will be here, and we need group. So I'm going to try to be a good group leader, a good administrator, of Cloud City for you. What happened here tonight? Oh, hold on, I didn't do my thing. I go by many names. The captain of the USS SC JNN, the Starcraft of Love, Jean-Luc Picard. Make it so, engage. The hell fell out of my head. Johnny Donahue. Oh, I messed it up. Philly Donahue. I'm so rusty, you guys. John Voight. I just made that. And your internet best friend and hairbrusher. What happened here tonight? You got to hang out with me and watch me drink this coffee and run my mouth. And now that I'm out of coffee, see you next time.